All right. None of this is planned. I got Kelly questions here. We're kicking it around. She's preparing for a really big event for herself. She'll be gone for a while, so we're just kind of just a shooting the breeze and kind of comparing notes about things.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously, I think I'm right. She thinks she's right. Anyway, all right. So now, where
Hi,
you want to go after?
everybody.
Hey, Kelly. Kelly, introduce yourself.
I am Kelly Questions. I am a travel and life organization coach. I have several course offerings on my website, kellyquestions.com. You can feel free to check me out there, connect with me there. You can also go to Instagram and connect with me there as well. And Dee is one of my good friends. And so
Yay.
we are just going to chop it up, shoot the breeze, talk a little bit about random things,
All
have
right.
some fun.
So now, why won't I be able to pick your brain, or why won't we be able to kick it around for a while? Or do you want to wait on that one?
I
I'm
mean,
going in, baby.
there might be something happening.
No, something, something. So
A
what is
little
that? You
something,
getting your
something.
nails done? Is that your
Oh,
nails?
no, this time it was a self manicure. It's not the nails.
It's
It's
not the
above
nails.
the
It's the
nail.
bling. You're
It's right
blinding
there.
me. You're blinding me. Yeah.
I am. So yeah, so I'm getting married. We are 1 month out. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. We've been engaged for a minute because
Yeah.
don't judge me. Don't
How
judge
long's
me.
a minute?
Like a year and a half.
That's not bad, actually. That's not
Really?
bad.
Okay,
Nope.
okay,
Nope.
okay.
That's not bad. I know people been
Really?
engaged longer than that.
Okay. The only person that I've met so far, I was in David's bridal, so I'm cheap. So I bought my wedding dress on online, right? But I needed to get it fitted. And so I'm in David's bridal picking it up the other day, and there was this lady, and she had a rock. I mean, that rock was just knocking everybody out in the room. It was huge. And it was huge all around. The stone was huge, just everything was big about it. And I was like, wow, he did well. Cause I mean, you couldn't miss it. It was just a rock on her finger. And so she goes, yeah, oh yeah, I have dogs, by the way. I have two dogs, just like Dee, so you may hear them in the background.
I'm
And
gonna
so yeah,
revolt
and
in a minute.
so I I asked her, I'm like, oh, he did well, right? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, yeah, I love him, blah blah blah. And I go, oh, cool. When did you get engaged? And she said 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, when are you getting married? And she was like, I don't
We
know.
don't have a
And I was
date.
like, oh, okay. And I was like, all right, well, I don't know. I guess I'm not the only one with a long engagement.
Well, then that bling was just to appease her for a minute, to get her
I
to shut up
mean, it
or
might
sit
have
tight.
been.
Don't go
I
nowhere, right?
did think it, but I was trying to, hold back my thoughts because
Mm-hmm,
maybe somebody
mm-hmm.
else would have thought the same with me, right? You know what I mean? Like if I say to you, "Hey, I'm getting engaged in 2023. When are you getting married 2025?" Somebody else may be like, "Girl, that ain't gonna happen." You know what I mean?
Well,
So yeah.
you're actually talking to somebody that was engaged for quite a long time and then didn't get
Really,
married.
really,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I didn't know that it was a long time. Good to
It
know.
was,
Good to know.
it was a while. It was a while, but anyway, it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
All right. So what else is up for you?
So yeah, so that's the big thing. I'm having some fun recently. Have you guys heard about Miss Kyoka Kinsey's copywriting 101 class?
Are you in it?
I am.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
How's it doing?
So what I'm liking about it is she's going through. So I got it selfishly because I wanted to understand a bit more about how to approach copywriting. I realize it's an art, right? I realize it's something that you need, but like how do I approach it? You know what I mean? Like how is it done? That kind of thing. And so I've had the opportunity of hiring Miss Kyoka before for some of my sales pages. And from that I learned that like the girl knows her stuff, right? Like she's good at what she does. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I saw that she was offering a course, I was like, ooh, let me sign up for that. Because like when you go look it up online, like these courses are pricey, right? So like because she was doing a founding, class
Yeah.
member sale, I was like, well, okay, take my money, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So
So
wait,
yeah.
did you do it just for just for fun, or you did it to help you with some business venture or something, or what?
So I don't know. I'm somewhere in between. I could possibly add it as a service, right? I'm not against that. My initial reason for joining was I would like to know how to make my own copy better. And I see the craft and I see the art, but I don't feel like I respect the art, but I don't feel like I understand it enough. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm staring down instead of staring at the people, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at you too. Unfortunately,
Yeah. My bad.
Right.
But
No,
yeah, but I feel like you know enough to respect the heck out of the craft, but not understand enough about the artistry at like a systematic kind of level. And that's what she breaks down in the class, and I think that's pretty cool. Like
right.
I'm thinking that. So there's like little
Have
like
you told her that?
formulas.
Have
Oh
you
yeah,
given her feedback?
oh yeah, of course. On the side too.
On the side.
she gets a Kelly special. So what about this? But yeah.
Right. That's good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. I think you would probably enjoy it too, right? If it's something you're into, right? Yeah.
There's a bunch of things I'm supposed to be doing and haven't done it just yet. I'm a little distracted in my whole life right now, so just trying to settle down a little bit.
I get that.
Once I settle down, I'll focus and do the things that I need to do. But
I mean, right now the markets are distracting all of us.
Which markets? Now, markets giving me a raising my pressure. That's what it's doing. But I mean, it's actually really bad.
Yeah.
I had someone comment today that, what did he say? He said I must be brainwashed or something. Oh, I know. So he said I was a worshiper of Bidenomics.
Oh Lord.
You gonna say that to me on a day like today? Really? And a day like we've had, the days that we've had since this guy took over? Really? That's what you want to say to me? But
also, I don't understand, what is the point of that, right? Like, so in all of this, I was watching something the other day, and they were talking about like they were talking about one of the legislations or something like that to do with, Trump or Drump, as I like to call
I
him.
don't,
because that's the original name before they changed it to make it appeal. Go look it up. John Oliver called it first.
You mean something from today?
Say that again.
I've seen a couple things come out today.
I haven't really watched that much. The big thing I saw that was the I think I sent it to you. The Capital One Discover merger got blessed May 18th.
You know what? I never got to look at it. They're buying.
They blessed it. Yeah. So Capital One is going to consume Discover, and that'll make them more large. To be honest, okay. So I don't know anything about the finance, but I don't know if y'all hold any of their cards or their checking accounts. Those are the two companies that are chef's kiss when it comes to customer service. You will not find another company that is nicer to you when you call them.
Even take Discover's card.
Say that again?
No one takes Discover's card.
You rude. Yes, people do.
You can be bought up, right? You can be bought up.
Don't hurt my heart like that.
I mean, okay, so if those are the two best, then you just, you happy-go-lucky right now.
I am. Because, okay, so Discover's customer service has always been wonderful. Now, I will say, to your point, the reason why fewer people take them is because they charge more to the merchant, is what I understand. They give those benefits back to you, the card holder, right? But it comes out of the merchant's pocket. So a lot of merchants, my understanding is, choose not to support them. So that's fair. But in my defense, I would just like to say you probably have things that you pay for that could go naturally on your Discover card, like my Netflix membership or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, so just saying.
Again, no one takes that card, right? And I'm sure you'd forget that you even own the thing and end up with late payments or something, right? Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, I've never had one, but I never saw a need to have one. Would you use it for points or something, or?
No, they do a good job with categories. So they're very helpful around Christmas time. They'll give you like 5% cash back on everything Amazon. And I'm sorry, I know we're boycotting y'all. Yes, I'm just telling you the facts, right?
Is anybody here? If any, oh,
I don't know. I didn't even look.
that's right. Thank you, Cece. Thank you.
What's Cece saying? Can I see the comments?
You're right. Don't here. That's what she's.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
No, nobody say it.
Don't be laying me out like that. Hi, Cece. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, guys.
I love that. Oh, hey, Kyoto.
You know what? Somebody just spoke your name. Someone spoke your name. Spoke it very well, actually. Yeah,
yes, I was telling them about the copywriting course.
On your course. Thanks. You know, we were just talking, and she said, "Turn the camera on." So I turned the camera on. She's
we
got to
do this all the time.
Here soon, right?
Yeah.
Yoka. She's gonna leave us for how long? You gonna leave it? How long you leaving us?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Or Kyoka. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I am leaving you for. Well, it's in total, it's a month. It's like a week before the wedding. Then you get the wedding. Then it'll be 3 weeks after that in Fiji.
Well, why you tell us not to? Don't send you no messages for so long.
I mean, you can send them. I just may be otherwise occupied.
All right, you'll be occupied. All right.
Okay. Oh Lord, I caught it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I caught it.
So with the Discover thing, yeah, I didn't get a chance to read that. What I was talking about earlier is I saw that they are now going to start. I can't remember the date in May, but in May they're going to start garnishing people's wages. They're going to take people's Social Security, and if you had a tax return, they're going to start grabbing those, putting a lien on those, so that they can start paying back people's delinquent student loans.
I heard that. I didn't know it was coming.
I don't mind about the income tax return. I do have a problem with you saying you're going to take somebody's Social Security check to do that. That's the only thing. Huh? Yeah. It happened today.
Yeah, that's messed up. And like also too, when it comes to like Social Security, a lot of people are living off of that. So when you just decide
and
to
in some cases
take
it's not
money,
enough.
Yeah, what are people gonna do? That's so messed up. That's so messed up.
You know, that I'm actually, I'm gonna start doing more of going live because there's a bunch of things I want to hit. I want to hit housing. I want to hit Social Security. What was the other? God, someone asked me the other day how much they should be saving. And I can't give you a number. It should be as much as you absolutely can, right? And unfortunately, you know, if you're going to start snatching people's Social Security checks for their student loan that they've been dodging for I don't know how long, and hopefully it's not accrued so much interest on it. I'm sure it has, though. You're hitting people from every end. So you're cutting staff at Social Security, right? You're gonna make it so that it is difficult for people to even, if they have some issue, to be able to get to the people they need to straighten out their check. They're taking people off the rolls. So now you got to get back in touch with them and make sure they know you're alive and that you're entitled to money, right?
That's messed
and
up.
then you're gonna start snatching it.
That's crazy. Yeah. I was reading something or watching something, and they said something like one of the offices, they took it down to like 18 people or something ridiculous. Like the office was so small that they were saying that for the amount of people, just finding somebody at the office would be an issue. That's nuts, man.
So for the 6 region, how do I keep doing this? Per region, okay. It is 6. They've taken it down. They've reduced their staff by 87%. 87% reduction in staff. And then that is going to leave an average of 6 people per regional office. So imagine you can't get them on the phone. You have to go down there and they got 6 people working. It's already overloaded as it is. Now what happens? You know?
Yeah, that's a mess. That's just and I get that the cruelty is the point. I get it. But man, like it's at levels where I don't understand the, I'm going to not use the judgmental word of hypocritical. Let me call them the idiosyncrasies. How about that? I don't understand. Cece, I like you.
Cece, that's right. They're not going to find you. And if they can't
not necessarily. You just watch. They'll probably put like
wait. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm going to clear something up then. So do you mean how they going to find you with to grab your money, or how are they going to find you to make sure that you are entitled to which are you saying?
Fair. That's a good point. Yeah.
Because if it's supposed to be on automatic, you shouldn't have to find me. You're supposed to be sending me my check. But if you got your Doge group over here saying they shouldn't be here, they shouldn't be here, they shouldn't be here, and they're wrong. Mm-hmm. Now what? So I don't think the point is just cruelty. I think it is you're doing a whole bunch of things at one time. You're dumbing down your population, right? You're making them poor. Just today, I just saw an article that said they're gonna pay $5,000. Well, the plan is to pay people $5,000. Well, hold on, come here, baby.
I have a visitor.
You gonna do that?
I have a visitor.
We gonna have battle of the babies. They go mine. They go mine. Come here, baby.
We have visitors.
Ready for his close-up.
Oh, cute. The other one's downstairs. Okay. She stopped barking and she came up to see me. I was like, all right, I'll take that. Yeah, you were saying you were saying it's not just the cruelty; they're dumbing it down.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to mention. So the $5,000, they're proposing paying people $5,000 to have a child. The picture of the woman they showed doesn't look like me, right?
Or me.
He ain't got no mullet. He got no mullet. Cut it out. He got a mohawk.
Got it. Okay. I was wondering about that mullet comment. I was like, wow.
You're debating paying taxes this year because the IRS is a mess.
I would say you should pay them because we are this color, Cece. We are this color. We have new rules.
Stuff we can't get away with now. Be careful.
We have different rules. They may not have enough staff, but they will find ICE or somebody to come find us, Miss Cece.
So I have someone I know. Someone I know had a levy placed against their banking accounts. The IRS, they came and got their money, right? So you cannot pay them if you want to. They can put a levy on your bank accounts. They will get their money.
Oh, yeah. Because remember, everything's electronic these days, right? I've actually known somebody. I worked with a gentleman who this was years ago, but something happened with his divorce, and I guess he owed some money to the wife, and I think he prioritized paying. He owed the wife and the IRS. He prioritized paying the wife for the divorce stuff, but he owed the IRS some bit of money, and he said he just didn't get his paycheck. So he called up HR like, hey, what's going on? Where's my paycheck? Is there something wrong? And they were like, they checked it and they said, oh, we don't know. We just know you need to call your bank because they didn't send us anything. So he said he called up. It was, I think, Bank of America, as I recall, called up. And Bank of America was like, sir, we can't give you any more information. All we can tell you is it's the IRS. And he was like, what? Is that possible? But my point being, you are absolutely correct. It is possible, right? They can just come in and swoop. And apparently, the money, the way they did it, he explained, it's the money drops, but then they put some sort of a word out to, I guess, the bank that says, whatever gets dropped, prioritize us. And then whatever,
and then they get the rest.
Right. Yeah. Whatever's left, which in this case was nothing because it was more than his whole paycheck. Prioritize us, give us everything, give us whatever, up to this amount. And then whatever's left, then you can give it to him.
That's actually, I said someone I knew. It was actually one of my tenants that it happened to.
Oh, really?
And So he had to get in touch with me. He was trying to figure out, I got to get you your rent, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, they snatched his money for a couple of months
Mhm.
before he was done paying whatever they needed.
They don't play. Yeah.
And they wouldn't negotiate, allow him to
Yes.
get on some payment plan. They just
Yes.
snatched his money.
Just everything in one go. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
So again, Handmaid's Tale, anyone?
I still haven't watched it, but I've heard all about it.
No, I'm not. I don't even watch that. I don't
okay.
watch
Yeah, but I've heard about it. Yeah.
But I was just speaking of them proposing to pay people to have children. But I'm pretty sure they will make it difficult for some people to have children, right? Some folks might be prioritized.
We saw it, right? Like I think we've seen it a few times now. Was it Nick Fuentes or one of them recently said something about something about some black guy said like you are a token or something like that. Like there was actually
that I don't know.
yeah. So like they said to one of the MAGA people like you're a token. The only reason why we have you, it was a black MAGA person. And he was commenting on the person and said, the only reason why we are like, buddy with you or whatever is because I get in trouble if I say certain type things, right? But if you say it, you don't get called enter our word here, right?
Oh, wow.
Right? R-ism.
And they were okay with that?
And I don't know if he said it to the person's face or if he was on his channel, but it was on Tabitha Speaks Politics. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize that people were that bold. But I mean, it's been for a while, right? We saw like Ann Coulter say to Vivek Ramaswamy, she was like, I wouldn't have voted for you anyway because you are not, I think she said she only wanted white Anglo-Saxon male, something like that.
She said that to him?
She said it to his face. Like, go look it up. I'm not making these up. You can go check this yourself.
No, you know what? I'm getting my fill of all of this. I just am. But the bad thing is it's not going to stop anytime soon.
Correct. Yeah. It's sad.
I want to clear this because I don't want this in my spirit right now. So anyway.
But but the point that you're making about the money, right, is true. You need to pay your taxes to the point that we were.
Yes, pay your taxes. Again, someone asked me earlier this week, how much should they be saving? And so that took me on a trail of starting to look at more about Social Security and Jason Whitlock.
Was it Jason Whitlock? Okay.
See, you all right with us.
He knows it. Oh, yes, I love it. Cece, we're besties in my head. I hope that doesn't sound weird.
You got a new best friend.
Hey, got it. Thanks,
But so again, so later on I'm gonna address housing. I need to and different forms of housing. So I saw something the other day that said it's cheaper to rent, and that's never my first option to tell someone to do, but that's just the reality right now. And they're trying to force dude to lower their interest rates. What are the interest rates looking at, and what do you think is going to happen with them?
So let me check the current. Last time I checked it, it was 6.5. Let me check it right now. Right. It is 6.864.
All right.
As of right now. And so it's gone up, right? Not shocking. I don't see them falling, right? So interest rates and bonds. Oh, hey. I do mean it as a compliment. But yeah, and so I don't see it going down, right? Like just looking at the markets, it's just not going to go down. Interest rates are going to go up, right? And so you add that, plus you add inflation, right? Plus you add the cost of houses, right? So the houses, the
cost of materials.
Right,
raw materials going up.
Comes from Canada, right? Like, it's a friendship for a reason. We get things from them and they get things from us, right? It's not just the videos you see of, Kentucky bourbon coming off their shelves. There's other things that we share back and forth. And so yeah, so that's one of the problems. And also too, in perspective, because there's this mindset of, oh, just take the lumber from within the USA, right? Like we got plenty of places, lots of green spaces where we can cut it down. The lumber here is not as strong, right? So that's
It's
part of the
hardened by the
problem.
weather. Is it hardened by the
Exactly,
weather?
exactly. That's exactly it, right? It's hardened by the cold, and that is why the Canadian wood is better. So for somebody like me living in Florida, I'm not going to lie, it makes me think to myself, how is that going to, what will be the effects of that fast forward a couple hurricane seasons, you know? Like what, so one of the things that, at least here in Florida, I would say up until maybe about 4 or so years ago, hey, Sticks Boy. Up until maybe about like 4 or so years ago, you used to be able to kind of count on the fact that if you had a 2-story home, the bottom was block, and then the top part is where they would put the wood. Well, now things have completely shifted. Oh, go ahead.
Wait. Why was that? Why was that? For
Uh,
foundation?
so the foundation, well, the foundation is always going to be concrete,
yeah.
right? Because you have to, right? But the idea was that it was a little bit stronger, right? Because wind, hurricane, flood, blah blah blah. It's a little stronger. That was the thought process.
Okay.
But now they've recently said, let me just repeat what they say. I still, my inner person, my inner Kelly doesn't like this, but I'm just going to say what they say the science says. They say that the science says that the wood is now just as strong, and you can make the wood as strong so you don't have to worry about having wood on the bottom levels. I think it's just cheaper. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
And they just need to say it instead of, saying other things that aren't really so much. I don't know. I'll just leave it up to you guys. I think if I had a concrete block and I had wood, I think
I'm going with concrete. Right?
That's me too. That's me too.
Wood snaps.
Thank you. But they say that it's very good. They say they've tested it. They say the technology has gotten there. Blah 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 blah. I'm just repeating what they said, but that's what they say. So now what you find is, at least here, like I said, I can speak for Florida, you find a lot of homes where the whole thing is wood, right? So I think of that, and my thought process there is, so if everything is wood and we're no longer building with stronger wood, like the Canadian wood, going back to the original point, how's that going to work fast forward a couple hurricane seasons? Like, I don't know. Are things just going to be like flopping down? Like what, how does that work? I don't know. This is total me, just talking, shooting the breeze. But yeah, that's something that I gotta be honest, I'm a little concerned about. Like, will more people be affected by that?
Defunded.
Say that again?
FEMA's getting defunded. I sure hope not.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
I hadn't even considered new home builds because they slowed down the building because it costs too much to get the raw materials now. So what does that do for current inventory? So
I got my second guess. You see the second one?
All right. They're cuties. You got cuties.
Anyway, carry on. Yep, they slowed down.
Yeah. So you've got people now. First of all, because the interest rates have gone up, to get into a new home, it will cost me more money at that interest rate to get into that home. So I'm going to stay put, right? So you stay put. That means younger folks can't buy a home, right? Plus, they can't afford to do it either way it goes. Well, most times, right? I shouldn't say most times. Sometimes I should say that. And you've got to, okay, so now you're competing for the housing that's already there. The interest rates are up, right? This is the reason they're saying it's now cheaper to rent versus own, right? And the other thing I don't really get, and now you're going to have people delinquent on their mortgages and getting foreclosed on. You told me something about that was a myth.
So the foreclosure. So this is it's like a running theme that seems to pop up. I think people are still, and naturally so, right, a little traumatized, right, from the 2008 housing crisis times, right? I think they say there's a stat of I think something along the lines of if somebody is within a certain age range, I want to say it's like 50 to something, meaning that they were in that house owning time. I think there's a stat that says something like 33% of those folks within that age range have had some sort of a bankruptcy or something like that. So I say that to say, oh wait, and all of that was really prevalent, and it traumatized a lot of people, right? Because people, were foreclosed upon, all of that, right? However, right now we don't have that, right? And I think there are some things that are true, but there are some things that don't quite align with how the natural process works. So for example, it is true that it is a buyer's market more than a seller's market right now, right? No doubt about that.
That ain't good because I'm putting up a place up for sale next month.
Well, yes, you're in a buyer's market. Yes. So, so the homes are more stagnant, right? That is true. It is also true that the tariff situation and the upsetting our allies, right, is leading to some of the people who are permanent residents or citizens of those countries who owned homes in the USA, right, selling. So Canadians, for example, it is a thing, right? Because if you think about it, we listen to our government's advisories, right? So why wouldn't they listen to their government's advisories, right? Yeah. We also have done some not so smart things, right? Where we, I don't know if you guys heard about the two German women, like one lady ended up in like El Salvador.
No, that's different. There's two German students today.
Oh no, not today. This was they're both released now. This was maybe a couple weeks back. There were two German women, and one of them, I think they released her within 4 days, 5 days, 7 days, something like that. But the second one ended up, I think she may have even been in El Salvador or something, but she was detained like for like 2 weeks, and her whole family, even the gal that was with her, nobody knew where she was. And apparently they tried, oh, you're fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Just mute it. That's what I've been doing. And they tried to like communicate tried to communicate with the embassy and all of that. And apparently our current USA administrators were just kind of giving them dust. Not good, not good. And so things like that are making it so that other countries are telling their people, well, stay out of the USA. So now if you think about me as a homeowner, right? Let's say I'm a Canadian, I own a home. I'm going to use, for example, I love that Kyoko said he's protecting the house. That he is. But yeah, and so like I'm a homeowner, and let's say I own a home in Florida, right? Canadians love Florida. Chinese love Florida. British love Florida. They call it the Disney effect, right? Like people love being near Disney, right? And so I own a home here in Florida, but I can't go visit for the 6 months of the year that I normally do. Well, then what's the point of me owning the house, right? It starts to make sense for me to go, well, let me sell that house, right? And so that is true as well. Now, the other thing I think that also gets blown up with the foreclosures thing is you have to watch percentages if they don't tell you the numbers that it came off of. So for example, it's just a made up example. If last year 5 homes were in foreclosure, and this year 10 homes are in foreclosure, then it went up 100%. Right? But if the amount of homes that were sold for the year is 50,000, don't get me wrong, we care, right? I'm not saying we don't care about the 5 homes and the 10 homes, right? Because somebody lost their home, which is not a good thing. But on the grand scheme, does that percentage really matter that much? That's one of the problems in our news cycle. Does that make sense? That's why I say,
yeah, it does. And that might be true right now, but remember, a lot of people are being laid off. They're losing their jobs. So that number is going to grow.
So I would say it's coming. I agree with that. Yeah. However, if you think about how long it takes a foreclosure to complete, right? Number one, I know this goes against what everybody thinks. A bank does not want to own your house. They don't want it. It costs them a lot of money. They don't want it. It takes forever to sell. They don't want it. They have to go pay other people to take care of it, right? They don't want it. The bank does not want your house, right? Even though I know that's, typically people think, oh, the bank wants that. And they don't. They really don't. It's a pain in the butt to them, and they have to write it off as a loss constantly. They don't want it. But when you, to your point, right? The point that you're making, when you look at how long a foreclosure takes, a foreclosure usually takes like 2 to 3 months. If you have a longer time, let's say there's more stuff going on, 6 months. We're not there yet, just in terms of when the tariffs and things started. Does that make sense? That's all I'm saying. Right. So I'm not saying it's not coming. I'm just saying, are we really there yet?
Is that? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. You say in Florida it takes 3 to 6 months to foreclose?
I would say 2 to 6.
You can go a couple years.
Oh, really? Oh, wait, take that back. It's that makes sense. That does make sense. So in blue, this is a blue versus red state thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
that makes a difference. I'm from Chicago, but
correct. Yes.
I'm relating it to renting now. So in Chicago, they're very much on the renter side, right?
Exactly.
It's for the renter, right? Correct. In Georgia, you can evict someone pretty quickly, right? Mm-hmm. So they're on the side of
blue versus red state thing. Yes. Sure. Typically, now I will say, when it comes to renting, strictly using that term, when it comes to renting, yes, it's faster, but the judges don't want the publicity of them kicking renters out of their house. So they will tend to side with the tenant, right? If there's a question, like if there's a gray area, they will tend to side with the tenant. Now, when it comes to mortgage, right? That's a whole other beast, right? So it is definitely easier, right?
I should also mention that part of Chicago's thing is weather as well. So they're not going to just be putting people out of their houses out of their homes for that. Yeah. Kelly?
Leaving Florida and moving out of the U.S. So I like Florida's weather. So I can't see myself leaving yet. And I know that sounds crazy, but I can't see myself leaving yet. And I also don't have kids. I think I would feel differently if I had a kid in Florida's school system. I don't know. I just view education and like a quality education as like a huge thing on my list if I had a kid. So yeah, I can't see that yet. Would I ever move out of the USA? I could see that. I'm not against living somewhere else. Like there's other places that I love. Like I love Portugal, like love it with my whole heart. It's just the best thing ever. So actually my bachelorette party, that's where I did it. I did Portugal, both Lisbon and Porto, just because I wanted my friends to see how great that country was.
What do you like about Portugal? I've never been.
I went to Spain. Yeah. I think it's the people. There's just a Portuguese kindness that I really like. I like the way I'm going to call it slow down things, right? Sorry about my dog sneezing. I like the way they slow down things. Yeah. So I just appreciate the fact that they're just so easygoing. I also love the step outside of the USA, the natural thing when you leave the USA of nobody ever asks you, what do you do? It's more like, where are you from, right? Or like, oh, does your family live with you? Or that like beautiful curiosity about things that are not about how can I be of benefit to you, but more of, am I a good human being? I love that.
What about the hills?
I mean, that's true. There is that. You're not wrong, Kyoka. That's true. It's a lot of hills. That's true. I don't know. I maybe I haven't experienced the worst areas. I've done Lisbon and I've experienced some hills in Lisbon, but nothing that made me like not want to be there. The people still won over my heart.
So it's not good for a place with for people with mobility issues.
Good point. Yes, I could see that. Or you would need to go to one of the more flat areas, which I think they say, I thought when you go more south, that may be one of the more flat areas. I don't remember, but there are some expat towns that are notoriously like flat. So that is a possibility.
And they're towns, not a city? I don't know.
That's a
I never
good
been.
question that I don't know the answer to. That's a very good question, but I don't know the
All
answer
right.
to that, dude.
All right. That's cool.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah,
All right. So now, with the housing, right?
Mhm.
Uh, I'm that's really surprised. I'm sorry. So what is the time frame you say it takes them to foreclose in Florida?
2 to 6 months on typically. Obviously, if you're in a
Really?
crisis.
They're kicking people out.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no opportunities to
Oh,
what
you
do you
do. You hire an attorney and you go back and forth and you can do all the normal stuff, right? It's just not as I'm going to describe it this way. So I have I've gotten a chance to know a little bit more about New York's like foreclosure process, and they offer lots of programs at the state level that kind of help to roadblock the bank from kicking the person out of the house.
Okay.
And so that when I say red state versus blue state, it's like adding counseling sessions, right? Instead of just being like, hey, you didn't pay, let's just say the state jumped in and said, all right, well, before you do that, right, before you file this, lis pendens, for example, we are going to make sure that you do 3 counseling sessions with this person. Counseling
Okay.
session 1 is understanding why. Counseling session 2 is them needing to bring their financials. Counseling session 3 is then the judge will decide if you go to the next step. But if in the financials they need extra time, you see where I'm heading here? If in the financials they need extra time, they can file for an extension 3 times. It
Okay.
naturally, you see what I mean? Your state can kind of throw in things that will
To
slow down.
elongate. To elongate.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So now, the 3 top markets are Hawaii, New York, and California, right?
Miami. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you went to city. I was doing state. I don't know. All right.
So Miami,
What are the
so
top
they always
markets?
are, for the record, they always are. Your top real estate markets are always London, Miami, California, and New York. They're always the ones that set the tone for everybody else. So
Do
like
it
a
again.
lot of the time
London.
you can pay attention to something like Cali or New York or Miami and start to see signs. That's a little trick for you guys, by the way. And start to see signs of what the rest of the country is going to see.
So
So
tell
yeah.
it to me again. London.
So London, your top real estate markets are always London, California, New York, and Miami. Those are always your hot spots.
So when you say New York, you mean New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we go from a whole country to a state, and then the 2 top cities, New York and Miami.
Well, California is like true.
Are you
You're
meaning
right.
LA?
Right.
Or are you meaning
Yes, right.
along the coast?
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yes.
Cece,
Oh,
does Cece know you?
I know we're friends. I like Cece.
Are you guys friends for real?
No, we're not. But I feel like we should
now.
be. When and where am I getting married? I am getting married in a month, and I'm getting married here in Florida. And yeah, I'm really excited, Cece. I'm excited, and I appreciate the question, Cece.
And where you going? Where you going for your honeymoon?
Fiji.
Show off. I'm kidding. That's
I'm
great.
excited,
I
but
know
not
you
sure.
are. I know. Will you be gone a long time?
3 weeks.
That's a nice honeymoon.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice.
The plan
Very
is to do nothing and kind of. I feel like I travel. I travel a lot. There's no doubt about that. But I feel like often I travel and there's a bunch of.
Wait, what? Wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean, she's met my future husband, and they got along
I've met
real
him.
well.
He's great. He's nice. He's a good guy.
I think they shared a plate. They did at the restaurant.
Oh, you mean? Do you mean to the wedding? Her wedding list. I ain't make the list.
No, she's talking about the honeymoon. If you're not going,
Hey, I'll go. I'll carry the bags. You guys just take care of my housing, and
Oh, that's funny.
yes. So we're excited for you. Very much excited.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. And yes,
You
Cece, hit me up. We seem to be friends, at least in my head.
see, mess starter.
Yeah,
She gonna throw
that's
the
what
rock
I'm
and run.
laughing at.
I don't know if it's a she or not. I guess I don't know. CC, I'm sorry. All right, anyway. You're a hoot.
You are, Cece. You're fun. We like
Have you joined me before? Have you joined this before?
Thanks, Kyoko. Mwah.
Yay. We're excited for you, but we're gonna miss you.
I'll be all right. I mean, I'll be back. I'm just think of it like a sabbatical kind of vibe, you know, like I'm taking like a sabbatical. It's a moment to be able to connect with significant other, but also like both of us just kind of decompress, right? Like he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, so it's just nice for both of us to just like put everything down and just chill for a bit. So that's what I'm looking for.
Enjoy one another, without all of these other distractions.
Explore, right? Yeah, and travel gives you that, right? That's one of the beautiful things about it, right? Is that ability to kind of explore somewhere new. I know both of us have not been to Fiji, and so yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, this is that you're exploring it together. That's
yes. That's kind of.
And neither one of you.
I thought I told you why Fiji. Did I tell you that it was because of Survivor? Did we talk about that?
Really?
We did.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
You probably did. I don't know.
My bad. So we are avid watchers of the TV show Survivor. Like we're long gone. We have watched it at this point. I think they're on like season 47, and I think we've seen all the seasons, including the problematic ones back in the day. But yeah. So we're avid watchers of it. So what we did was when it came time for honeymoon, we figured as kind of like an ode to our relationship and stuff that we do together, we would pick from the Survivor locations for the honeymoon location, Fiji being one of them. So that's where it comes from.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And so
tell me.
You guys picked it together. I mean, whose idea was it to say, let's base it off of Survivor?
That's a good question that I don't. It was probably my idea. Just knowing the significant other. I don't know. What do you think, Dee? I don't remember, but it was probably my idea. What do you think? I probably started.
I think it was your idea because you're doing the most traveling anyway, right? How often are you taking a trip?
True. That's true.
How often do you take a trip prior to?
How often? Well, on a normal year. This year, less because of the whole, disappearing for extended periods of time. But typically, I would say once a quarter at minimum. Some years. Oh yeah. I heard Stephanie talk about it, and she just spoke about it so well the other day on one of her lives, and I was like, yeah. I hope I have the same experience. But yeah, I would say about once a quarter, Dee. I feel like that's about right. And then I've done as much as 8 countries in 1 year. And then I've done as little as 1, right?
Wait a minute. I'm saying that like that's a big deal because you can literally go on one trip and hit a few countries at a time.
I've done that. Absolutely. That's what I did with Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, actually. Yeah. Flew to Aruba and then just, hopped over. Spent some time in Curacao, then from Curacao, hopped over, went to Bonaire, and it was a vibe.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Last year, you said you didn't do it so much last year, but I do remember you going on a pretty exotic trip.
Where did I go last year? That's a good question. What did I do last year? Ooh, they're blurring together. Oh, I did Morocco last year, I think, right? Yeah, that sounds right.
You went more than Morocco, though.
I did go to Morocco.
That's pretty bad that you can't remember.
I remember. So I remember the country. Yeah, that sounds bad. Hi, YouTube. That sounds bad. I know. Cool. So I remember the countries, right? Like if you ask me, like, oh, what countries have you been to? But which year I went to them? Ooh, that trips me up. So like if you say like, when did you go to Sydney, Australia? I just remember it's a Thanksgiving. My guess is that it was 2023, but it could have been 2024. I could be wrong. Does that make sense?
How long have you been traveling like that?
Say that again? Oh, it was Greece. Oh, good job, Kyoka. Yes, Greece.
Come on, Kyoka, with the good memory.
Kyoka's right. Yes, it was Greece. That's true. I have not been to Egypt. I have not been to Egypt. Egypt is on my list. It's on one of my, actually, the friend of mine that I went to Morocco with, it was her trip. And I just decided, if you're going, I'm going.
You took her trip over?
Say that again?
You took her trip over?
Yeah. So Egypt, we were actually talking about that. She is planning on going to Egypt. And Egypt, I've held back on because everybody says that as a woman, it's kind of a, you should have a guy or you should go in a group kind of trip. I've heard it can be a tough country to go to. I've heard something about personal space and then you being a woman, right? Being the things.
My partner went and tried to get some Turkish coffee. They would not sell it to her. She had to go and get a man to see if they would get it for her.
Really?
And then once they figured out the guy was trying to get it for her, they still wouldn't give it to him.
Wow.
Coffee. Okay.
Wow. In Turkey?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So a friend of mine just went there and she said she had a really good, so she said to me, she gave the review that I gave about Greece. So ladies, if you have this, you need to go to Greece. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I mean, talk about being treated just like a queen. It felt good. It felt so good. I'm not even going to be shy about it. I'm just going to say it was great, right? I mean, and the term Greek god, I understand why. They are, hey, I may be on a diet, but as my old friend used to say.
But you still know what tastes good right now.
No, not taste. Whoa.
I said you still know what. I said know what tastes good. I didn't say you taste it.
I was like, I can't say
you taste it. That word gonna be off immediately.
The phrase that she always used to say is, just because you're on a diet doesn't mean you can't look at the menu. She would say you can't sample the menu. But yes, she is right. Kyoka is right. Greece is your place, ladies. I also heard from a friend of mine who went to Turkey last year that Turkey is also our place. That's what I'm hearing. So I haven't experienced the Turkey one. Say that again?
Just don't try and get no coffee or anything else.
Well, apparently you'll have plenty of wonderful gentlemen to help you get your coffee.
What? What'd you say?
Wait, what? You be telling all her little business, shake my head. We see what you be up to.
You next. All right. So listen, do you want to talk about your travel? Not your travels, but your travel thing, or no?
Oh, in terms of like business?
Yeah.
What does it say? Love black women, but you may not like them back. Kyoka, I am sensing a story. Tell us a story. I'm intrigued. That sounds like a story. Am I wrong, B? That sounds like a story. It sounds like Kyoka has had a story.
Kyoka got some experiences.
And that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that there was a Turkish juice. What's she called? Juice box? There was a Turkish juice box.
Yeah. She like a man built like a juice box.
That's what she says.
I didn't make that up. She came up with that.
Literally, guys, we did not make that up. But yeah, I'm sensing that there was a Turkish juice box somewhere, and that's where that's coming from. Are we right? Is that right? Kyoka, let us know. She said dead.
Being all coy now, right?
I mean, I'm just saying that's what it sounds like, Miss Kyoka. That's what it sounds like. But anyway, all jokes aside, you were asking me a sensible question and I got derailed. What was the sensible question? You were asking me, do I want to talk about something? You asked me something about, do I want to talk about travel?
Travel. That's not triggering something for you?
You mean in terms of like the business? Like because it's business? Yeah, sure. Let's see. What can I share? So I know at the beginning I said, You can always go to www.kellyquestions.com to find me. That still remains, right? You can also find me on Insta. Kyoka. You can also find me on Instagram at Kelly Questions as well, right? So feel free to look me up there. Always happy to chat. CC, special shout out to you. Hit me up, girl. Feels like we'll be friends. And then also on my website, I have several. So what I do is I do life organization as a way to get you into transformational travel, right? And so when I say transformational travel, the idea is, how do you take a break? It's exactly what I just described about the wedding, right? How do you take a break, pause life back home, right? Put things in place so that you're not going back home or you're not leaving and worrying about stuff back home. And then you go take a break, right? And that could be solo travel. I highly recommend solo travel because I think sometimes you are able to get closer to yourself when you do it. And so you go off, you travel, and that's where the travel coaching comes from. And travel coaching, because a lot of people don't really know exactly what does that mean, right? So it's
And
not.
who is that for, by the way?
Exactly, right. It's not a how do I, can you book me this trip situation? Not at all, right? It's not that. So that's your typical travel agent. That's what they do. What I do is, it's pretty much, let's go into the whys of what you're traveling for, right? Because usually when you feel the need to escape, you need to escape for a reason. And how do we get you through that? Usually some coaching so that you are thinking about the trip the right way, planning the trip the right way. And when I say planning, I mean even simple things like too many activities, right, can throw off your trip, right? You may need a vacation from the vacation, or also to where you go, right? So if you go to Paris in July, June, it's probably not going to be as luxurious or relaxing of a trip. Not luxurious. Luxurious can be anywhere, but as relaxing of a trip as if you planned it during, say, an off season, right? Where you go outside of that time frame so that you can take things in more and not feel so rushed. And that's what I'm doing, right? So that's what travel coaching does. It just goes a level deeper in terms of how do we make this travel feed the soul instead of just simply taking a trip. Anybody can take a trip, right? And that's what a travel agent is for, or Google Flights, or whatever the case may be.
So when they come to you, do they already know what they need, or you take them through some steps to help them figure out what's
No, I take you through those steps. So we start at what you do know, usually when you're coming to me, is you know that you are feeling overloaded. You know that you're feeling overwhelmed. You know that something isn't quite working, and you are feeling the itch. That's usually the feeling, right? Like that itch to travel. So I'll give an example of myself, right? I am somebody where I followed the typical path, right? So I was taught, go off, go to, doctor, lawyer, engineer was the household that I was raised in, right? So went off, got myself some engineering degrees. Okay, great, right? And then from there, you've checked all the boxes, right, of what people tell you should do, right? So you go up the chain, you do all these things. And then one day you wake up and you're like, all right, so what's next, right? For some people, that's kids. In my case, didn't want kids. And so you start going, okay, well, what else is there? And the things that you once filled your life with, like work, right, or family, not that family is going away, but people just get more busy with their own lives, right? Close friends. Those things aren't there as I'm going to call it your occupiers / your crutch. And when those disappear, you tend to need to figure out yourself and what you want. And so for me, when I talk about that itch, that's where I started to feel that itch. Didn't know how exactly to fill it, but I knew I needed to get out of my surroundings so I could kind of think about what is best for Kelly. What does Kelly want? That isn't the prescribed checking boxes because I was told, okay, first you do this, and then you do that, and this is what makes you a good human. But what does Kelly want? And so that's what transformational travel is all about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I did want to. Somebody's gonna crash your wedding.
Oh. I mean, it's a plated dinner, but we can figure out something. We'll put you out on the patio. There's a very nice patio, by the way. It's on the water and everything. Let's see. Are you going to continue silver travel? Oh yes. Oh yes. Absolutely. Yeah. So I actually I'm gonna say something that that one of the Uber experience drivers that I had in Morocco said, which is he said that he had a traveler. I think she's like a doctor of some sort. He said, and she made a comment saying that she believes. Kyoka, I'm reading Kyoka's comment.
I'll read that.
She believes that separate and solo travel when you are married is actually healthy for your relationship. I agree with that, actually. I think I know for a lot of people, because I get this all the time. Oh my gosh, what if when you're gone, he's at home with somebody? I get that a lot, right? Or like, what if when she's gone? Oh, I mean, what if you find a hot guy in Greece? I'm not so sure I'd be okay with that. I get that like a lot. That oddly enough, that's probably the most common comment that I get. But I actually think it's a good exercise for every relationship, right? So you can have faith in each other, trust each other, right? Nobody's going to be doing anything weird. And also, too, I think it's a good exercise in he gets me time, I get me time out of the same trip, right? So he's getting his me time as well. It's just in a different way, right? Sure. And I think that's healthy, right? We all need some of that. So yeah, I absolutely will. And I have for the entirety of our relationship, and that's not going to stop. And he encourages it, quite frankly. So
okay, yeah. Very nice, very nice. Yeah. I think she's trying to clown you on being all extra educated.
Yeah, I got degrees, plural. This is true. This is true.
What is that? Never mind. I got degrees too.
Anyway. She did. I was about to say.
It did sound interesting when you said I went and got a couple of engineering degrees.
I did. I have a computer engineer and a computer science. Both of them are out of the School of Engineering.
Right, I got you. And yes, Cece, that's correct for her. All right. Yeah. So we just, we were yelling at each other. So we're done yelling. And I won, right? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly, Cece. Cece, I'm telling you, hit a girl up, Cece. My Instagram is Kelly Questions. Hit it up, Cece. We need to be friends. I should at least be following you so I can pump you up on the side. Hey.
Cece, do you have a channel or anything? I mean, not anything.
That's true.
Do you have a channel? I can't do it now, but
I feel like I'd sit there and watch Cece talk about all kinds of stuff.
I think Cece like just throwing bombs and just go sit down for a minute.
That's okay too. That's okay.
But anyway, I mean, I know we had been saying we were going to do this. We're not going to talk very often for the next couple months, I guess. And we want to see you off. We're going to see you this weekend. No.
Yes. Yes. Well, is it this weekend? Oh yeah, it is this weekend.
Yes,
yeah, we have our group meeting, right? Yeah, yes. we do. Yes. So it's this Saturday. Do we agree on Saturday?
It is. Yeah. So we'll give one more good big send off, but just wanted to get this done and wish you well. I love you.
I love you too.
Now you don't love me that much because if you did, you give me a ticket for Fiji.
I mean,
no, we're very excited for you and looking forward to hearing about your travels later. This has been a long process of you planning this whole thing. Not really long, but just kind of watching you do it and knowing your organization has been something to marvel at, right? What is this?
Tantric gourmet.
Wait a minute now.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Cece, pause and explain. We need
right. Hold on. We ain't going nowhere till you tell me what that is.
You need to tell me what that tantric word. I mean, gourmet, I'm all about. I'm a foodie. But help a girl out with that tantric. What's going on
Yeah,
there,
let us
CC?
know what you doing over there. I'm gonna go see if I can look it up real quick. I'm
That's cute.
serious.
I
Tell
wanna
us.
look it up too. Tell me what you found. Tell me what you found.
I'm almost there.
Okay.
Boom. Let's see what you got going on over here. It's time to stop waiting for your life to be perfect to enjoy it.
Well, I love
Absolutely.
that. Love that.
Are you active on here? Are you active on this thing? Because it doesn't look like it. Are you?
Okay, that's okay too.
Attracted to consciousness, high vibrations, and soul. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is not what I expected with you saying tantric, but that just means I gotta.
Well, no,
happening.
apparently we both do because we both went, ooh, tantric. I want anything else. I don't post as much. That's fair. That's fair. I get that.
Okay. No. It's cool.
What
It's
does
cool.
a tantric instructor do? Is that like
Are you frozen? Is she frozen? I think she is. Kelly. Or am I frozen? I don't think I'm frozen. Kelly's frozen. All right. I'm gonna hang in here a little bit for her. Hopefully she can jump back in. But if not, you want to tell me what that answer her question if you could. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what it is. Like what's the you did for me too, but it's back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I don't know what a tantric instructor is. I'm thinking of that as like I said, a S, the number 3 backwards X-ologist. Is that what it is? I don't know what I can and can't say on your channel, D.
Oh, I like this.
Is that what that is?
I'm looking at this happiness chemicals and how to hack them. All right, nice. I'm gonna check you out. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. Kelly, we did the thing. I hope
did the thing.
All right, cool. So awesome. I will talk to you later. Thank you guys, whoever was able to join. None of this was planned. We just decided to turn the camera on, okay? And thank you guys for joining. Who did I have here? I had CC. Go check out the Tantric Gourmet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we've got Kyoka at the Awkward Black Nomad, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And if you guys didn't hear earlier, Kyoka actually is the one with the copywriting course. Yeah. And we had a few others. But anyway, thank you guys so much. You guys have a great one. And I'll see you later in the week because we got some stuff to really, really talk about. All right. Talk to you later. Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye.